Full time from St James's Park this evening. It's finished Newcastle United 1, Leeds United 2. I'm not going to sit here and complain about the result. I've seen it coming a mile off. Yes, it was a better performance in terms of the second half display, but still not good enough. Against Leeds United, who are a very good side, by the way, very well organised. They're an open, expansive side. They're going to hit you on the counter-attack, and they're going to punish you if you make mistakes. And we've been punished far too often this season in terms of how they play defensively. Not great. They will give you chances. And that's what I'm more gutted about, that in the second half, we had chances to go on and potentially win that game. Only being 1-0 down, there was a chance to go on, kick on, and get 3 points. Leeds were there for the taking in the second half. First half, we were shocking. Second best to pretty much everything. Leeds United dictated the game, passed the ball around really well. We couldn't live with their threat. They deservedly took the lead, and they should have been out of sight in terms of how many goals they could have had by half-time. Darlow had to make some fantastic saves. Second half, it couldn't have been any worse. We got the equaliser, but like most times this season, we get caught on the back foot. The opposition goes up the other end and puts the ball in the back of the net. And the way Leeds played in the game tonight, I think they fully deserve it. You could look back at the stats and say we've had more than enough chances to go on and taken the 3 points by, say, the shots on target to what Leeds had. But it's what you do with the ball that matters, that counts at the end of the day. We just didn't do anywhere near enough in the final third. Second half, we had gilt-edged opportunities and just didn't put them in. Leeds United, they don't need asking twice. They will punish you if you make mistakes. I'm gutted on that sense. But when you look at Steve Bruce's selection, I think it just tells you everything you need to know about his managerial skills. 4-4-1-1 he went with to start off this game. I thought it was a 5 at the back. It may as well have been if you look at the first half performance. So the starting 11, question marks yet again. He plays Isaac Hayden at right back. Why? When you could play Manquillo, you could play Kraft in that area. You could get rid of Hendrick, who we had in the midfield, and put Isaac Hayden in that position. But no, he went with Jeff Hendrick. What does he see in Jeff Hendrick that us fans don't see? Because he's absolutely dreadful. What does he bring to our side? He's just a lost cause. He doesn't get forward. He rarely tracks back. He's just a passenger. You look at the rest of them. So Ryan Fraser, it was good to see him back in the side again. He had him in a number 10 and Miggy out wide. Why? Put Miggy in the number 10 where he's more of a threat. He's more of a driving force rather than out wide where he just doesn't do much when he gets the ball. Happy for him to have got a goal, by the way. But I believe if you put him in the number 10, we could have actually got something out of that game. Fraser, for me, he's our go-to guy for pace out on the wing. He's no good at number 10. He had chances, but I'd rather Fraser swing the ball into the box and give away a chance to potentially put the ball in the back of the net. Just didn't happen. Callum Wilson, fine. I understand why he didn't start ASM, because if you watched him against Aston Villa, he just wasn't with it, and you could tell he was battling COVID. He'd just come back from a long-term injury, and it was only right that he maybe come off the bench second half, and we know what threat he brings, to our side. That he's got it all, hasn't he? So going into the game, Leeds were by far the better side. We just couldn't get anywhere near them, and they take the lead through Rafinha on 17 minutes. Listen, they deserve it. I can't fault the way they started the game. You would have thought Leeds United had just played the other week. They'd been off for a couple of weeks. We hadn't learned anything from the Villa game for the 2 goals that were conceded. It was basically carbon copy. So Jacob Murphy, he loses the ball in the centre of the park. Just sums up the way we're playing. And Patrick Bamford nicks the ball off him. He just makes a run into the box. He picks out Rodrigo. Rodrigo is allowed to stand there, pick out his man, and that's Rafinha, and he just slots past Carl Darlow. It's an easy goal for them to score. It's probably a daft one for us to concede. Someone's got to get close to Rodrigo for a start. Someone's got to put a tackle in, and someone has got to get close to Rafinha, but take nothing away from that goal. It was a fantastic one. and it had been coming. Leeds United had plenty of other chances as well, hitting the post and forcing Darlow into a good save. As for ourselves, well, didn't do enough in that first half, if I'm being brutally honest with you. We didn't have a shot on target. Shelvey, when he picked up the ball, in a good area, by the way, where he could have worked Meslier, the goalkeeper, he put it wide. It was probably easier to put it on target rather than put it wide, but he did. Callum Wilson nearly got on the end of a Fraser cross. The keeper got caught out and I think he got an injury, but he played on. So yeah, half-time 1-0 Leeds. We couldn't have been any worse. Hayden picked up an injury. I hope he's all right. Second half performance, much better. That's the Newcastle United that I know, where we can just pick up the ball, drive it sides, and force the opposition onto the back foot. And Leeds United, for a lot of that second half, panicked. 1-0 is never enough. They could have been out of sight. They could have easily been 2 or 3-0 up. And Miggy, he forced Meslier into a good save. Not the strongest of efforts, but it's a shot on target at least. And we are forcing Leeds, on the back foot, and we're causing them problems. Miggy then does give us the lead. It's 1-1 on 57 minutes. He gets put through. I don't know what the defence are doing for Leeds. I think Aylin's probably the closest to him, and he manages just to put it beyond Meslier, and it's 1-1. You're thinking, right, okay, let's try and win the game. But unfortunately for us, Leeds United catch the cold 4 minutes later, and we'll go 2-1 down. And it's a good goal by Harrison. He's just picked up. He's in the box and no one's marking him. Like, he's got the freedom of the Leazers and he just puts it beyond Darlow. It's a good finish. But you've got to question the marking. Someone has got to get close to him. It's carbon copy of the first goal. No one's getting close to him. And it's happened all too often this season. And Leeds put the ball in the back of the net. Steve Bruce makes the changes. He brings in ASM. We are more of a threat. And Darlow, he has to make some saves, but in terms of Leeds United, I mean, they do get off lightly, I would say. When Shelvey, he comes close, he has to tip it over. Then Lascelles also puts one over. And it's just all luck, isn't it? Dwight Gale goes close. But it shouldn't come down to that. We should be doing this in the first half, not for the last 45 minutes. We're giving ourselves too much to do. And Leeds United had chances up the other end where they could have made it 3-1. And they managed to see the game out. Leeds take the win 2-1. Listen, I've got no complaints about the result. It was a good game in the end. We made more of a fight of it in the second half. But my only concern is that we're still leaking in goals. That's now no win in 11 games in all competitions. That's now 5 defeats in a row in terms of the Premier League. The board have got to look at that and say it's not good enough. If I can take a positive from the game going into Everton, if we can play like that for 90 minutes, then we've got a chance. But I'm not going to say that we're going to do anything against Everton because they're a good side. They play some good football. This one was more of a better game than it was maybe at Ellen Road, but they've done the double over us, and you can't, excuse that. It's not acceptable. But Leeds United, fair play to you. You play some class football, and we just couldn't live with you at times, and you probably just ruined those big chances in the first half that if you'd taken them, maybe the second half would have been different. But listen, it is signs of improvement, but it's still at the same time, it's another defeat. And I'm still Steve Bruce out. No doubt he's going to come out in his press conference and say, oh, well, second half, we had loads of chances, we tried. But you've got to look at the whole game. First half, just not acceptable. 45 minutes where we've just not turned up. I don't know what more I can say. I'm slowly running out of ideas of where we go from here. I don't know. I think Leeds United were full value for the 3 points. Like I say, you look back at the chances created in this game, in this league, you've got to be clinical, and Leeds were, and we weren't, unfortunately. And we'll be ruining those big chances. A point wouldn't have done much either for us. So it still would have been no win in 11 games. But a win might have just boosted the confidence going into Everton. Who knows what this result's going to do now for the Everton game. I am concerned because I don't know where the next win is coming from, because right now we still can't do the basics. A game of 2 halves, I would say. First half, just same old. Second half, there was something there. but we need to see it on a consistent basis. And if we could see that for 90 minutes against Everton, if Pickford's in net, then who knows? We've got a chance. I can't fault their efforts for the second half. Definitely not. That's what you want to see. We don't demand a team that wins. We demand a team that tries. I've seen that in the last 45 minutes. Just on the night, it just didn't go our way. And that's just the way football goes. Sometimes first half, listen, if you're not at the races, then ultimately you're going to get punished, you know, in that second half. And I just seen Leeds doing that in the second half. And that's exactly what they did to the script when we got it at 1-1. We should really have kicked on and try and go for the second, because if we took the lead, I reckon we could have seen that game out. And I just feel like it is points dropped again. Albeit I'm not surprised because I was expecting it, but it's still more points dropped. And we're now relying on Brighton and Fulham not to pick up a result tomorrow night. One of them's going to get 3 points, I can see it. As I speak, West Brom take on Manchester City. I expect Man City to get the result, but the way the league's been going this season, anything is possible. The appointment, or the potential appointment of Graham Jones, I just don't understand why we bring this guy in. I'm not saying for one that he's a bad person, but why would Graham Jones want to walk into a toxic environment when he's doing well at Bournemouth? I get it, he's a Geordie, but what would you rather have? A promotion on your CV come the end of the season with Bournemouth, or relegation on your CV the way it's going under Steve Bruce? That just confirms to me that if the board are looking to bring in Graham Jones, Steve Bruce is not a good manager, which we all know anyway. It's better just to sack Steve Bruce off for 1.5 million quid, or whatever it's going to be, or 2 million quid, and bring in a new head coach. Do what Chelsea did. Be ruthless. If they're not happy being 9th place, and they're going to get rid of their legend, the best player to have ever played for Chelsea, Frank Lampard, and then bring in Tuchel, why can't we bring in a young coach like Frank Lampard? Or why can't we bring in Eddie Howe? Why do I have to persist with the same old bullshit bollocks every week? Do you know what I mean? I'm probably not as ragey tonight. I think I've gone beyond the ragey point now. The board know what to do to get rid of Steve Bruce. Even if we won tonight, it would have been paper over the cracks. I think on the performance levels, a draw would have sufficed. It would have been the better outcome. But listen, that's football. Leeds United, I'm not salty. You deserve to win the game. But what I'm saying is change is definitely needed at management level. Because there's no doubt the board are going to look at that and think, well, actually, they played quite well second half. We're going to keep Steve Bruce on a lot longer. But their spineless decisions are going to take us down. It's as simple as that. But I don't know, like, it's just, I can see it, but the board can't. Do you know what I mean? I can see what's going on, and the fans are starting to get restless, and rightly so, because it's just bullshit every single week. I don't know. I really, really don't know. So yeah, full time from St James's Park. Newcastle United 1, Leeds United 2. Let me know down below in the comment section what you made of the game. Do you believe it was a game of two halves? Newcastle, not so good first half, but better in the second half. Is it the confidence boost we need going into Everton, or do you believe it's still the same old and that we need to make changes? Because that's what I believe, but it's not just about my opinion, it's about yours as well. And I'm sure Steve Bruce will be getting quizzed by the media. I'm still not happy that he's banned the local press, by the way, or the written press. It's not great, is it? When the goings get tough, you know, you want to be able to find out answers to why we're playing the way we're playing. But listen, good fight back by the lads second half. I'll give them that. But first half, it still stinks right now. But yep, I'm going to end the review there. Make sure you hit the like button, you turn on the notification bell, you subscribe to the channel, and jot your comments down below. Follow me on social media, Toonami TV, Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next one. Keep it tuned. How are the lads?